enabled.
Hello and welcome to Making It Big Season 8. I'm your host AB Ravi. This week's story is unusual. Well, you could say it's one in a billion story. Mohan Kavrie, son of a bureaucrat, had excelled academically and landed a decent job in Mumbai in the early 70s. But his career was not going anywhere as his employer's fortune kept tumbling down. So one fine morning, Mohan decided to strike out on his own and chase his dreams. All he had was confidence and purpose. But he had neither the capital nor the family history of owning and promoting a business. Call it luck or destiny. Ismail Bhai Dhariwala, a leading dealer in second-hand liquor bottles, decided to bet big on Mohan. Ismail Bhai, who dealt with Mohan's employer for years, was impressed by Mohan's integrity, honesty and knowledge. So without batting an eyelid, Ismail Bhai not only invested 2 crore rupees in the business some 30 years back, but also gave Mohan 50% sweat equity. And as expected, Mohan did not let down Ismail Bhai. Today's Supreme Nonwoven Industries, which makes molded carpets, NVH insulations, roof liners, door pad and partial shelves that go into every car, has emerged as a dominant player in the country. Take a look at the Supreme story to find out for yourself whether Mohan was lucky and plucky or was it sheer destiny.
Like Intel inside every PC, there is Supreme inside most cars plying on the Indian roads. This B2B Mumbai-based company, the brainchild of Mohan Kavrie, makes molded carpets, NVH insulations, roof liners, door pads and parcel shelves that are a must item in every car. Interestingly, these products last the entire life cycle of a car. This is why brand Supreme is sought after by OEM players and not the car owners, as they never have to replace them. That speaks volumes for the company and vindicates its investment in R&D. In fact, Mohan Kavrie says they were the first in India to develop and introduce practically every product in the marketplace, and the results are there for all to see. Supreme Nonwoven Industries is the preferred supplier for over 15 auto giants in the country. Some of its well-known customers are Ashok Leyland, Honda, Hyundai, Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, M&M, Toyota, Volvo and Nissan. Auto ancillary units are generally located close to OEM players to ensure just-in-time supplies. But in the case of Supreme, this has been necessitated because its products are large, voluminous and fragile. So a single location plant does not make economic sense, as transporting and packaging costs of these products are huge. As a result, the company's 15 plants have been strategically located in the states of Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Uttaranchal, Maharashtra, Delhi, Karnataka and Haryana, so as to ensure that customers are able to get the right product at the right price and the right quantity at the right time.
Ready for the market, it was, in hindsight one can say that. Okay. But when we look back then, really the focus was on working with the customer, giving value to the customer and doing whatever is necessary to make it efficient in delivering to them. So towards that goal, we built our competencies in engineering and development and design. We built our competencies in testing and validation. We built our competencies in equipment and technology and bringing all these in-house. And simultaneously, we also built the plants and facilities closer to our customer to deliver to them and bring them value.
Clearly, customer focus, innovation and agility have been the key elements of the company's DNA. And these have made it possible for the company to deliver unmatched value to its customers. The result? It has been able to command 50% share of the automotive OEMs market in the country.
Well, our relationship with Supreme and what really clicks is the commitment with which Mr. Kavrie and the group have always turned around projects for us at Ford. And when we have challenged them in meeting expanding beyond the boundaries, they have always been in front, leading and taking charge, turning around the business as it's required. And they have always been a very trustworthy partner, both on the commercial side and very importantly on the quality side. They have been able to match the true requirements of the consumers in the emerging market like India, and they've been able to tailor our products efficiently to match the value needs of our India consumers and also meet the expectations of our export customers in mature markets like Europe and America.
Well, such encomiums have made it possible for the company to post impressive results year after year. Between FY10 and FY18, the company's top line has grown from 215 crore rupees to 813 crore rupees, registering a CAGR of 17%. Today, Supreme has won its well-deserved place under the sun. But by Mohan's own admission, nobody thought he would make it big in the business world. If we press the playback button, his story seems more like a fairy tale. To hark back in time, Mohan was born in Mumbai in 1948. He was the only son of the 4 children family. His father, who was a senior bureaucrat in the Maharashtra government, ensured that all his children excelled in studies. And they did. After schooling from St. Xavier's High School, Mohan joined St. Xavier's College. After a year, he got admission at IIT Mumbai. He hated engineering and this showed. He failed in the first year, but he finally managed to major in B.Tech in 1971. Soon after that, he went to New York to do a master's in operations research. In 1973, Mohan winged back to India and joined Kolhapur Sugar Mills. It was a medium-sized company that paid him a salary of 720 rupees per month. But he was fortunate to work directly with the promoter Anil Kumar Ruya. This is where he learnt the ABC of the business. In 1977, sensing a huge business opportunity, Ruya bought United Felts and Carpets, the non-woven unit which was sick. This business was handled by Mohan. This company was on the downhill run. So to keep it going, Mohan asked one of the company's vendors, Ismail Bhai Dhariwala, to bankroll his boss for an overseas acquisition. Ismail Bhai said a big no, but in the same breath told Mohan he would back him if he starts on his own. United Felts and Carpets kept posting losses year after year, and this forced Mohan to call it quits after 13 years of services to start his own business, and Ismail Bhai did keep his promise. Lady Luck was benevolent. Instead of setting up a greenfield project, they acquired a brand new non-woven plant that was up for sale for 2 crore rupees. Ismail Bhai, who was impressed with Mohan's integrity, honesty and business understanding, not only provided 100% funding but also gave Mohan 50% sweat equity. That was 1986. Since then, Mohan has not looked behind. In fact, the company's graft has moved only in one direction, north. During this great ride, his business partner Ismail Bhai exited the business for personal reasons, and so did the company's 2 foreign partners. It was an amicable exit. Today, this unlisted company is 100% controlled by the Kavrie family and is raring to go. Having created a brand for itself in India, it is now looking beyond Indian shores. Indeed, the company's strategy is yielding rich dividends. In the last 33 years, Supreme has grown from a 25-employee company to a 2,000-employee company. The first-generation entrepreneur, Mohan, has steered the company smartly so far. Now he has handed over the wheels to his son Amit and daughter Smita so as to pursue his new passion, giving back to the society. And the next gen has already proved their mettle. On that note, we need to take a short commercial break. When we come back, CNBC TV18's A.B. Ravi talks to Mohan Kavrie of Supreme Nonwoven Industries about his journey, the lucky breaks and the future of Supreme. Also joining us on the show will be Rajat Verma of HSBC India. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. He comes out as a gracious, modest man, and that seems to be part of his organization's culture. To know more about his business odyssey and philosophy, I caught up with the 71-year-old Mohan Kavrie, chairman of Supreme Nonwoven Industries at his Chembur office in Mumbai, and asked him why the company has not diversified into newer areas to insulate his business. This is what he has to say. Take a look. Mohan, Rajat, welcome to the show. Mohan, I begin by asking you, yours seemed to be one in a billion story. You hated engineering, yet you graduated from IIT Bombay. Then you went to the US to do masters. When you came back to India after doing your masters, and for somebody who's done IIT, who was an IIT graduate, you joined Kolhapur Sugar Mills, run by the Ruyas and Ruprel. You did not think of joining Tata's, Birlas or MNCs. Any reason why?
Well, those were the early days when the masters that I had done was operations research.
Yeah.
Nobody had really heard that word over here. So I could not get into an area of my specialization.
Okay.
When I joined Kolhapur Sugar Mills, it was for a project which was in Mauritius. And it had a bearing on what I had studied. But unfortunately, the project closed down within a few months after I joined, and I was absorbed on the domestic side. But with hindsight, I can say that that was probably the best thing that happened to me.
Joining Kolhapur Sugar Mills?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it was a small to medium-sized company, not very well managed, and there was great opportunities for a professional in this kind of a setup. From day one up to the day I left, I worked directly with Mr. Anil Kumar Ruya, a brilliant person.
Okay.
From him, I learned every aspect of business.
So you were lucky that you worked with him.
Yes, because I would not have got the kind of experience and knowledge I gained in Kolhapur Sugar Mills in any big company and be able to set up and run my own company.
So after working for 13 years with Mr. Ruya, you decided to start your own business. Two questions come to my mind. One is, what gave you the confidence? Because nobody in your family had done business. Second, you had no capital, share capital.
Probably I didn't have much of a choice than to start my own business because I had worked very hard to earn the respect and trust of the management that I had worked for. And I was not ready to go through the same grind once again because it takes time to earn the respect of a management and especially the trust. So I decided to start my. Probably I was not aware of the kind of challenges I was going to face. Maybe I was a little foolish. But I did it.
I believe you were bankrolled by one Ismail Bhai, and he gave you a 50% equity stake, or I would say sweat equity. So how did this whole deal come about? How did you meet this person?
Ismail Bhai was a supplier to Kolhapur Sugar Mills of used bottles. This business of used bottles, which the liquor industry uses for most of its production, is a really gigantic business, and Ismail Bhai was the leader in that business in the country. I knew he was a wealthy man. There was a project which I wanted my management to do, but unfortunately they were not financially well off at that point of time, so I asked Ismail Bhai whether he would be ready to do with my managing director. He immediately said, no, but I can do it with you.
Okay, that's great.
Of course, I did not immediately accept it because doing business was something I had never thought of. It took another 6 months of my attempting to revive the company where I was working, but nothing was moving. I was 35, 36 years old. And then I realized I can't sink with the boat because I was dependent on the salary to run my house.
Okay.
So I spoke to Ismail Bhai again. And then he said, yes, we can still do it. And that's how we decided to partner.
But I believe initially you were thinking of setting up a 25 lakh project.
Yes.
But you went on to acquire a plant worth 2 crore. How did this happen? And where did the money come from?
This is also part of destiny. Because we were going to do a 25 lakh project. One of the conditions I had told Ismail Bhai was, I shall leave my present company only when they happily relieve me.
Okay.
They took 1.5 years to relieve me. Things had changed in that 1.5 years.
You're the sheet anchor of the organization. Yeah.
As things had changed in that 1.5 years, I had to start all over again. I retired on 30th of June. And suddenly on 9th of July, we had the opportunity to buy a brand new unit where the owner, unfortunately the promoter, had died in an accident. It was a unit that was only 4 months old. Okay. So that was another great break I had.
Okay, let me get the banker in. Rajat, you have heard his story. How does it strike you about this man? Does it strike as an unusual story?
It is a fascinating story, definitely unusual. I think some of the things which he's mentioned already, and there were various turning points that I saw it. I think the one, Ismail Bhai was one, the factory which was, the second factory that he purchased when the promoter unfortunately passed away probably was another. But I think one of the things which I see now in the company and what I saw then was that people were willing to take a view and have faith in him and his venture. And the other bit that struck me when I was speaking with him was that he was able to reciprocate that faith. And to me, that kind of stands out in this story. So there's luck, there are turning points, but it seemed to be underpinned by a set of values which is interesting.
Okay. So if I were to ask you, as compared to your competition, what gives Supreme the edge?
It is services. Because the customer does not give a special price to any supplier. They're all beaten down to the lowest price.
Yeah.
The preference is given to the best vendor. And we have clearly established that we are the best.
Maybe I can ask a question here.
Yes, please.
It's a great, fascinating story that you set up, and you've gained market prominence, 50% of market share. You're going to keep growing in this, and your customers like you, and you've set up factories. So there are certain entry barriers, if you like. Does that mean that you need to, is there a instinctive satisfaction with the position, or would you like to expand elsewhere? Is there a version 2.0 for Supreme, or is it more of, is it a modification of one?
We will continue to do that which we have done all these years.
For sure.
But along the way, we will have to reinvent ourselves. People who do not reinvent themselves over time perish.
Sure.
It is not that they start a new business or anything. What you are already doing, you have to start doing it more efficiently. In the initial years, your focus is totally on growth. When you have achieved it, you will continue to grow. But that's the time when you focus on efficiency. And believe me, for a company which has grown rapidly, there is great scope for improving efficiency.
What is the challenge of your business? Is it technology? Is it people? Is it competition?
The biggest risk to us and people who are in situations like us is becoming complacent and taking things for granted.
Okay.
And therefore, you must never make that mistake, and you have to be ahead of the curve.
Okay, looking at your own business life, what does it take to succeed in business? Looking at your own story.
Well, my answer, has nothing to do with business. It is integrity. It's a word which I don't know how many people understand. But I think success comes easily to those who are honest. And with it, of course, the commitment, the hard work, all that goes with it.
Yeah. Do you believe in luck, looking at your own life story?
Yes, I have to say, but with qualification. Luck is nothing but a few good breaks. But success does not come on account of the break. It comes on account of what you do after that. with that break. So, yes, it is important. Sometimes it gives you a start, but you can't, build a business on luck.
Okay, Mohan, finally, what is the advice would you give to an youngster who wants to start a business today? The do's and don'ts of the business.
You see, in business, IQ is not so important. What is important is EQ.
Okay, I agree.
And business is all about relationships. That's the first thing that people must understand. The second is that you cannot know everything and cannot do everything. So you need a team which buys into your vision and your values. Another important thing where people make a mistake is their arrogance makes them think that they know everything and they want to micromanage everything.
Yeah, that's a real
You
pitfall.
cannot know more than the expert in his domain. But people try to micromanage. I say, please let people work and let them make honest mistakes. Because when they work, they may make mistakes.
That was straight from the heart. Very well put, Mohan. Thanks a lot for being on the show. Thanks, Rajesh, for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Well, that was Mohan answering all questions straight from his heart. These are the mantras he implemented to build Supreme Nonwoven Industries. You must know how to read a balance sheet, have short-term goal as well as long-term goal, build a team and give them a sense of belonging, overlook honest mistakes made by your employees. EQ is more important than IQ in business. And finally, integrity and honesty are a must. Well, Mohan mantras are unusual, I would say, but it has been tried and tested by Mohan. So do follow them if you want to succeed in your business. Before I go, here's an interesting observation made by Wayne Dyer, and I quote him. If you believe it will work out, you will see opportunities. If you believe it won't, you will see obstacles, unquote. Clearly, Mohan saw opportunities, not obstacles. On that positive note, it is time to say goodbye. See you next week with another interesting episode. Till then, keep watching CNBC TV 18.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.